how's everyone doing? It's Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you back to the good, the bad, the awesome, where we review, unbox, give my first reaction, unbiased opinions about all things pop culture. Doesn't matter what it is, I will review it, and I will open it so you don't have to if you're an in-the-box collector. So if this is your first time here and you're like, hey, that sounds pretty good, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe so that way you can get notified of all new episodes. And if you've been here before, I would like to thank you from the heart of my bottom, or the bottom of my heart, I mean. Before we get into what we're going to unbox, just remember we do have the 500 giveaway still going on till August 15th. And so what we're going to get into today, we're going to go into my favorite anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, because season 2, the Shibuya incident, has just kicked off, and I am excited. I haven't read the manga. I don't know what's going on. I don't need any spoilers, but I know people said, hey, this is going to be awesome. They kind of told me that it's kind of comparable to the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, and I'm like, oh, I hope people don't die. But anyways, we're going to look at a figure made by Anime Heroes, so let's go to my lab and check it out. And here you have it, folks, Nobara Kugisaki. Hope I pronounced that right, Nobara Kugisaki, yes, the first-year student from Jujutsu High, who is got a bunch of spunk, has got attitude and all that good stuff. Very cool character. She has her cursed technique. If you don't know what Jujutsu Kaisen is about, it's about cursed spirits and basically these people who get rid of them using cursed energy. They exorcise these spirits. And so Nobara Kugisaki, Nobara, I'm going to pronounce that 20 different ways, is one of the characters from the first year. Of course, we know Yuji Itadori and we know Fushiguro, but this is the third first year. And so I'm excited about opening this. She is a very, very cool person. Her special cursed energy technique, she uses hammer and nails, and those nails have cursed energy inside of them. She can make it blow up, and then she has this little like voodoo doll that she can really do some damage with too as well. But this is from Bandai Namco, Anime Heroes. Very, very cool. So here's the front of the package. You got a nice picture of her right there, and then you can see just what you get right there too as well. On the side, a nice snippet picture shows you the other ones you can get. We did one on Yuji Itadori. We're going to do one on Fushiguro. I've got that one too as well. And we did one on Gojo. If y'all don't remember that, I'll put a link to that video so that way you can see that. But here it is. This is the back Crunchyroll, and then this is to the side. I picked these up at Target. You could pick them up for about $19.99, and if you have your red card, it was 5% additional off. But you also can find these on Amazon, Walmart, or any other major retailer. So why don't we just use our cursed technique and get her out of the box? Cursed technique unboxing now. And here she is out of the package. Nobara Kugisaki. She is looking awesome. So what you get inside of the package, not only do you get the figure, you also get, let me just show you these. You get 2 sets of hands there that you can mix and match and get those in and out. What's really cool is one of these hands also still has the nails. You can kind of see that there. And then you also get the little voodoo doll thing, which is very, very cool. That you can see that she does all sorts of cool stuff with that. And then the figure itself is right here. So let's bring this in and let's take a closer look at her. Let me get some better illumination in here. Give me just a second here. All right, so there she is. If you take a look at the details there, that face looks pretty decent. I mean, for $20, I mean, you can't beat it. The Good Smile and the Figma figures, the SH Figure Arts figures, have better detail. I don't have any of those of her. The only one I have is of Gojo. But for $20, if you're looking for a good figure to kind of display, this is a good one to use. But you can kind of see the details. There's her little hammer. It's a little like stretchy, so that's okay. You can bend it back into shape. The Jujutsu uniform there, and then the nails in this hand right here that you can kind of take a look at. But yeah, overall, really nice look to this figure. Doesn't stand too tall, so I think it would scale really well with the 5-inch McFarlanes and stuff like that. But we'll do some comparisons here in just a moment because we want to go through some articulation. But there she is from the front, and there from the side, from the back with her little pouch that she uses to carry all her nails and stuff, and then the side. I love that detail that they put that there. In that some of these figures that you get, I mean, even some 3.75-inch figures you get from Hasbro don't have as much detail or as much articulation as these guys do. So Hasbro, give us some more articulation because these other companies are doing a really good job. And so there she is again, just kind of a little rotisserie of her. There we go. But let's take a look at just a little bit of articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so you can spin that around, and you do have some movement in the neck also. So you can do that. What you say, huh? So you could do that there. The arm, you have a little bit like almost, it's got a little bit of an angle where you can bring that up. You do have the spin there. You also have rotation here and rotation on the wrist, but a double jointed elbow, so you can get that really looking kind of gnarly and cool if you wanted to. And you can kind of see that it kind of can move up and down too as well, which is really interesting. That's pretty cool. So it's not only is it on a ball joint, but it's also on this kind of swivel joint as well. But that's pretty cool that you can do that. The waist, you do have spin up. She's on a ball joint. You can kind of see I got her apart. Let's put her back together. There we go. Nice. That's the one thing I think with the Gojo figure I had some issues with was it coming apart very easily, and so that is the same with these. So as far as her legs, from an articulation standpoint, you're not going to get that far out with it because her skirt gets in the way. You can kind of see here. So the skirt just gets in the way. So, but you do have some movement that way. You can kind of spin just a hair, but the ankle, you do have the spin, you do have the tilt and angle that you can do with the ankle. And the knee, again, it's on that double joint on that too as well. So that's about it for articulation with her. But she, overall, it's a very nice feeling figure. The skirt here is like a softer plastic on here, so that's really cool, and everything else is a harder plastic. The one complaint I have with some of these cheaper figures is just they're a little bit shiny, and they don't have that kind of that matte finish. I would prefer like a matte finish on them to give them a better kind of anime look. But overall, I think it looks good. I think it's a good representation of her there. And so let's do this. Let me come back with y'all and we'll do some comparisons with some other figures. Well, before we do those comparisons, just to show you, you can swap out these hands and things like that. So just pop it off. The hands are on a ball joint right there. So we can put, let's put this hand on. So, and then let's see if we can get this voodoo doll in there too as well. Looks like you can kind of maneuver it, but there you go. So you can kind of recreate a couple scenes from that. The hammer here also does remove from the hand too as well if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool too. And then look at this little detail on the top. It's got the heart. That's so cool. That's so very cool. That's awesome. Nobara, you're friggin' awesome. Let's put your hand back on there. I don't know if that's foreshadowing, if she's going to lose her hand or anything like that, but we'll see. And let's get this all together. Now, we'll get her standing, and then we'll just kind of compare her to some other figures. So I got her moved down, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare her to her other first-year student, and that's Mr. Yuji Itadori. This is also an Anime Heroes figure there. Like I said, I eventually want to collect the Figure Arts figures on these, but a little bit expensive. I found her on a good deal. I might pick her up eventually, but he's a little bit more expensive. But there he is, Yuji Itadori. Let's bring in a cursed spirit in Chewbacca. So there's the 3.75 inch, kind of how that kind of matches up with this Bandai figure. The other one that's really cool is Figure Arts Mini. Here's a mini Nobara. There we go. Let's bring in a 5-inch McFarlane. Here's one that I think you can kind of scale a little bit with. There's Deku right there behind Chewbacca. Let's bring him that way. Let's do a Black Series Mando. We all remember our favorite bounty hunter. There he is. And let's bring in, this is the SH Figure Arts Gojo. So you can see how much bigger he is. I mean, he is a taller character, but you can see how much bigger he is. But again, like, and I'll bring both of these in closer so you can kind of see some of the differences in the detail. And then 7-inch McFarlane Zenitsu right there. He's behind everybody too as well. He's like, hey, I want to be seen. There we go. So there you go. That's kind of a overview, a look at these figures. And so let me bring these two in a little closer so we can kind of get a look. But you can kind of see just from a kind of fit and finish, the Figure Arts figures have a better fit and finish than these ones. But it's the difference between, you know, a $50 figure and a $20 figure, right? So you should get more fit and finish, more polish with the $50 figure versus the $20 figure. So, but yeah, so let's get together for some final thoughts, because I really do dig this figure, and we'll get her in some various poses and show you that off too as well. But let's talk some Kugisaki. Welcome back. So let's bring in Kugisaki. There she is, kind of in the pose that I will probably keep her in. Very, very awesome. So as you can see from some of my posed things, oh, that's kind of cool. I just noticed that. There's a split in the skirt, so you can kind of make that leg kick out if you want to. That is awesome. So she can do her things where she kicks those nails. So very cool attention to detail right there. That's very nice. Again, first reaction, sometimes you miss things, but overall from a posability standpoint, really poses well. I like it from a fit and finish. Again, for $20 you can't beat it, but I mean, when you look at a Figure Arts figure there, the attention to detail on this one is going to be there much better than this one right here. I mean, just look at the faces alone. The glossiness and the shininess, that's something I don't prefer on these figures. But Anime Heroes does a pretty good job. I think this looks really great. The only other con that I have is it's kind of tough to do standing poses and things like that, because just because of the balance and the little chicken legs here, those kind of weeble and wobble a little bit. But so what I would recommend is you get some like action flight stands, those things that you can kind of zoom her in to like fly in, or that can kind of give you some more support. So let's bring both of them, the two first years. And again, I got Fushiguro, and we'll unbox him at some other time. Let's bring him in just in spirit. There he is, Fushiguro, and the rest of them. I mean, the Shibuya incident's getting ready to happen. I have a feeling we're going to have a Gojo Sukuna showdown. Of course, he is Sukuna's vessel right now, but I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see how these people kick butt and take names. And I know some of y'all that have read the manga say, Jimmy, don't get attached to anybody. But you know what? I'm attached to them. I really like them. I like her spunk. I like her attitude. And I think the figure does represent that very good and very well. So on a scale of good, bad, awesome, I would give this a pretty awesome, not necessarily a totally awesome. I just have some minor qualms about it. But other than that, I think it's a great figure. I think you can't go wrong if you're a Jujutsu Kaisen fan and you're looking for a nice figure at an affordable price. This one's it right here. But if you can afford some of the other collector ones, go with the figure arts one. And that's what I'm going to eventually, as I get some extra money and stuff like that, I'll try to get the figure arts one so we can do a comparison between them. But that's all I got today for you all. So if you're not watching Jujutsu Kaisen, you can catch it on Crunchyroll. So go ahead, please go ahead and catch that that series, because it's really, really good. So tune in next time when we review something else awesome, or maybe not awesome. But into the meantime, y'all stay young, have fun, and be awesome as I use my reversed cursed energy to end the vlog. I'll talk to you later.